So if you haven't seen the Last Dance documentary of the Bulls championship run that they went on, I think it's one of my all-time favorite documentaries, and I'm a big documentary nut, and I love watching a really good doc. And this is apparently Bill Burr on The Last Dance. I've seen this documentary at least 10 times. So it'll be interesting to see what his take is on it. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
I am cursed with this mentality of competitiveness.
Competition is an addiction.
Every day was a battle.
Dennis, get up here.
Boom. You don't hear it, see Dennis for 48 hours.
No matter what we did, it seemed like it was a story.
Because that's what fascinates me about human behavior. I don't know, in the last, I don't know how many years, since it all became social media, is how the sports fan mentality has entered like politics, where, you know, my team's clean, your team's dirty, you know, blah, 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 and all that time. Oh, speaking of that shit, do you guys watch the fucking Jordan documentary? Oh, my God. Out of all the teams that I've fucking hated in my life, the fucking bad boys Detroit Pistons were at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And last night,
to this day, I still don't like Isiah Thomas. You know what I mean? And I'm a diehard Cleveland fan, but, you know, if you're a Cavs fan at one point, you usually have a secondary team, whether you're a Browns fan or a Cavs fan, which I'm both, you know, when I was really into sports. So, you know, we had a secondary team that we like. The Bulls was one of mine, and I hated Isiah Thomas, you know, you know what I mean, to this day, even though the guy, just wasn't a big fan, but he was a beast.
bad boys Detroit Pistons were at the top of the list. And last night, my hatred went even higher. I'm actually not even hating them now. I'm just like fascinated with Isiah Thomas, because they were showing the whole thing where, like, you know, I remember, like, they used to beat the fucking shit out of Jordan.
Right.
If he came in the paint, they would just fucking knock him on his ass, take out his legs, drop him on his fucking head, throw elbows to his throat, every fucking thing he could do.
As soon as he stepped.
Yeah, there's a thin line between playing defense. You know, I've always been a big fan of real defensive players, you know, which is why I like Michael Jordan. This is why I like Dwayne Wade. This is why I like Kobe Bryant. This is why I like LeBron in his prime. I'm not really a big fan of a lot of players who were just big on offense but not a lot of defense. I like players that play both sides of the field. So that's one thing I respect about Isiah Thomas. But from what I've heard about the Bad Boys Pistons and some of the games that I've seen or whatever, that was just straight out criminal, just playing dirty because someone was better than you. So it's something I don't respect. And then for them to not shake his hand, you know, after he finally overcomes them, man, get out of here. To this day, they still won't even take accountability and say, yeah, it was a dirty move. Well, Isiah won't. You know, I think he made some sort of cockamamie excuse that, oh, that's just the way we send off to the new, you know, like, oh, that's our way of sending you off. We don't shake hands. No, Jordan, always the professional, wanted to shake hands. And when he was getting whipped on, he still shook hands with these guys at the end of the day. So, to this day, I haven't really been a big fan. I was a fan of the Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace Pistons, though. I can't lie there, with Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton. That was a fun team. I'm a big Rasheed Wallace fan, so I was a fan of that era of the Pistons.
You know, I remember, like, they used to beat the fucking shit out of Jordan. If he came in the paint, they would just fucking knock him on his ass, take out his legs, drop him on his fucking head, throw elbows to his throat, every fucking thing he could do.
As soon as he steps in the paint, hit him.
Chuck Daly said, this is a Jordan rule. Every time you go to the fucking basket, put him on the ground. When he comes to the basket, he ain't gonna dunk. We're gonna hit you, and you're gonna be on the ground.
Jordan is still there.
It's hard for me to imagine John Sally being he's one of the most likable guys. When you ever see him talk, if you ever seen his talk show back in the day, he's one of the most likable, peaceful guys. And to imagine that he was on a team where he was instructed to knock Jordan on his ass, and not in a friendly way.
Go to the fucking basket, put him on the ground. When he comes to the basket, he ain't gonna dunk. We're gonna hit you, and you're gonna be on the ground.
Jordan is still there.
We tried to physically hurt Michael.
Jordan had no place to go.
And he lost like 2 years in a row. And as much as it killed him, he walked up and still shook their hands and said, good luck in the next round, right? And then when the Bulls finally beat the Pistons, they walked off the court and didn't shake fucking hands.
We're not shaking their hands.
Okay, I didn't know they were going to go through this whole segment. I already went through it, so I've seen the documentary a million times. Watching it now makes me want to watch it again. That's how good this was. The music, the pacing of it, very intense. You know, it's like once you start watching, you can't stop. Just a very, very well done documentary, and it really made you appreciate the players of old. Even all these guys look like they were 40 back in the day. All right, I don't know what it was where guys just looked like they were like 16 years old going on 40.
This is how we're leaving.
Pistons wasting no time in getting out of here as they are headed off.
We didn't shake hands, no. We just walked up the court. Fuck you guys. Thank you for kicking our ass.
And they got a ton of shit.
Come on, man.
Saying the bad boys were actually a bunch of bitches and blah, 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 right?
Right.
So, it's a 30-year-old story, right? So anyway, they have Isiah on the documentary. It's 30 fucking years later, and he has an opportunity to sit there and be like, yeah, man, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have done that, man. We should have shook their hands, you know. We played them real tough. You know, we did a lot of borderline shit, and this kid went and he fucking worked out in the offseason, and he learned the triangle offense. He was open to it. He started kicking it out to John Paxson, and they beat it.
Smoked cigars and ate steak after every game. I think that Michael Jordan was an alien, all right? Like these kids today, they get injured like it's nothing, but I don't know what it was in the food back then. Maybe they were eating real food. But Michael Jordan was a freak of nature. I mean, he didn't do all that healthy stuff, or he was smoking cigars, and he wasn't doing the other stuff. But he wasn't necessarily what they would consider healthy today, and was still whooping ass, and was the hardest worker out there.
It's fair and fucking square. He shook our hands when we beat him, so it's only fair that we shake his hand. He had the opportunity to say that, and what does he do? What does this man do?
The only thing that you can expect a man without a mustache to do, all right? You don't never trust a man that doesn't have a mustache.
Opportunity to say that, and what does he do? What does this man do? He throws the Celtics under the bus.
Adrian Dantley was shooting a free throw, and the Boston Celtics were walking off during the game. And I grabbed Mikhail, and then he stopped as he was walking off the floor. That's how they left the floor.
Come on, son.
And that is all you need to know about that man. That's all you need to know. Fucking hilarious. And then they cut to the clip of the Celtics not shaking the Pistons' hands. And what's hilarious in the clip is
not Larry Legend out here with the unsportsmanly conduct. All right, you guys have had me react to Larry Bird's videos, and I'm still, learning his career. And so much so, after just seeing a few videos, I've moved him in my top 5, really probably in my top 3 or 4. All right, he surpasses, I don't want to say that on air. I don't want to say who he surpasses because I might not be able to go back to Cleveland. All right. Oh, but man, Larry Bird with the unsportsmanly conduct. Okay. All right.
hilarious.
I like it, though. It creates a good story.
And then they cut to the clip of the Celtics not shaking the Pistons' hands. And what's hilarious in the clip is you see Isiah running over to fucking Kevin McHale to shake his hands. It's like, Isiah, I thought you just said you didn't do that. Why are you running over to shake Kevin McHale's hand? Oh, because you won.
He's running from accountability. That's what he's doing.
That's right. We don't shake hands, but when you beat Jordan in the Bulls, you had no problem shaking his hand. Oh, if you win, you shake hands. But if you lose, get the fuck out of here. It's fucking,
I love the way people from Boston talk. Okay, that's why Good Will Hunting and any of the movies where like that from Boston, just the accent makes it funny. And then when you add anger onto it, that's what just makes him naturally funny. To hear him rant in that accent.
You had no problem
saying accent right.
shaking his hand. Oh, if you win, you shake hands. But if you lose, get the fuck out of here. It's fucking, I mean,
like, get that fuck
I don't know.
out of
I think
here.
it says a lot when the guy, he was left off the dream team. Okay? And, you know, Bird and Magic had a vote, and they did not cast it. They're like, yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck that guy. So,
yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I got a big heated debate with Giannis Papas, who tried to say the Celtics were dirty too because of the Kurt Rambis.
Here's Kareem, outlet to Worthy. Rambis.
Damn.
And now let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty.
So it would take every jersey to get me off of that dude. I'm going to need all jersey, and that's one of those fights that even after the game continues on into the locker room, it's over with. You trying to take out my career at this point.
He took one fucking play in a 10-year period. I go, name another one that really sticks out.
Olynyk and Love fighting for it. And this is going to be fun. Did Love hurt himself?
Yes, he did.
His shoulder popped out.
Yeah, he ran right past
him. He's going right to the locker room. I think his shoulder popped out, so a big moment here.
Remember this.
All right, I'm not saying we didn't play. I would say the Celtics were somewhere between the Showtime Lakers and the early 90s Knicks.
We were going to win, too. That wasn't the year we won, was it? We were going to win that year, too. You know, LeBron had such bad luck when it comes to – I know he put teams together. I get all of that for all you LeBron haters out there. I still like LeBron as one of the greatest players ever. But, yeah, always someone getting hurt. And a prime player, too. That shoulder. Kevin Love, a beast mode.
Knicks. Obviously leaning way more towards the early 90s Knicks, but I didn't think the early 90s Knicks were dirty. I don't think playing, these guys are faster than us, we got to play more physical. That exists in every level of the game. My thing is when somebody leaves their feet and you have no regard for their safety, which is what the Celtics did to Kurt Rambis. That was a dirty play.
Yes.
Okay? But every fucking team has that play. You can pick it out where, yeah, they should have done that. That was a dirty play. People lose their composure.
I don't know about that. What about the Sacramento Queens?
Whatever. That all fucking exists. But I will tell you this. I've been out here for fucking 13 years and have talked to all the old school hardcore Laker fans. I mean, a zillion of them.
Look at that stash.
And all we talk about is how great those games were. All right? And all we talk about is then when Jordan came along and blah, 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 and that fucking those games against the Celtics where he scored 49 and then he scored 63, still lost, but like, and everybody just skips past the fucking Pistons because no one respected the way they played. They just took it too far. That's it.
Dirty.
And I'm not even saying all of them because I still, even now, because I go back now, right? I look at how much I hated the fucking 76ers. I fucking love those guys now. I love going on the internet and watching them. Fucking Andrew Toney.
Okay, I didn't watch back then, but the 76ers I knew, Andrew Toney was the Iverson Sixers, okay? And I love those guys.
Like, I was
they
actually...
were trash with Eric Snow, McGee, Mutombo at the top. He was nice. And I think, who was McGee, Iverson? What was that lineup? But they were defensive, and Iverson was just primetime TV.
One night looking up Andrew Toney like a jersey. This is me as a Celtics fan. I fucking hated them in the early days. But at the end of the day, I respected them.
Right.
I remember Dr. J and Larry Bird literally had a fist fight in a game. And the next time they played, they shook hands because they respected each other.
Man, yeah.
As much as the Celtics and Lakers hated each other, Bird Magic's rivalry, they became friends.
Right. You know how many people that I fought as a child and they became my friend? That's how in Cleveland, that's how you become friends. You move to a neighborhood, you get beat up or you beat somebody up. Next thing you know, y'all cool. Or you fight every time you see each other. But that used to be a lot of times, maybe that's toxic, but that's how we became friends when I was a kid. You know, you usually fought your friend first.
All right. Then you look at the dream team. They're all together. Who don't they let on the team? Isiah Thomas.
Thomas was well on his way to a Hall of Fame career, but was also seen by many
as the biggest cultivator of the bad boys image in Detroit.
And now Isiah Thomas and Cartwright swinging.
Isiah was the general. He was the guy.
I gotta watch some of these games.
That would yap at his teammates and say, knock them on the ass, do whatever you got to do.
All right, I'll let you do the fucking math. I'll let you do the fucking math. I couldn't fucking believe that.
And the sad part is he didn't even have to really do that with his talent. Isiah Thomas being one of the most gifted point guards that ever played the game. So it was just just bad leadership, bad decision making, and then wanting to keep up with an image. I guess they were called bad boys or whatever, but that's just my take on it. I'm not the biggest sports fan like that. I have pockets where I watched it and was really into it. So some of this stuff I discovered and some of this stuff I've seen.
The Celtics didn't shake our hands. It's like Isiah, magic. I mean, Jordan shook your hand after all you did to him back-to-back fucking years. This isn't about the Celtics, stupid.
True professional.
Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, why would any team shake your fucking hand? I can't believe that Jordan would even shake the fucking... That reminds me of back in the day when they shook hands with Claude Lemieux.
I can't believe I shook this guy's friggin' hand after the game. That pisses me right off.
Wow.
This is the thing.
I love when men used to talk like that on TV, all right? Now everybody's all soft now, and you know what I mean? You don't see that. When people say what they really think, like, forget that dude.
When it comes
and you only really get that in sports.
Shit.
I'm sorry.
It's with Claude Lemieux.
I can't believe I shook this guy's friggin' hand after the game. That pisses me right off.
This is the thing when it comes to this shit.
Oh,
okay, because I'm not going to sit here and act like, in the history of Boston sports, we've had no dirty players. I'm never going to suggest it because every town does. I fucking hate dirty players. I hate dirty play, and especially when you fucking do something that could possibly end somebody's fucking career consistently. Okay, everybody, can lose their composure.
Preemptive.
All right? And have a moment where you did something that you shouldn't have done. Like, I don't think Dr. J should have been throwing fucking jabs while another guy on his team is holding Larry's arms. But at the end of the day, it was one incident. Overall, Dr. J was an ambassador to the game, total fucking class act.
Caught him.
All right? That Kurt Rambis play, filthy fucking play. Hard foul, whatever you want to call it, was fucking filthy. Absolutely.
It's great TV.
Absolutely fucking filthy. No regard for that guy's, Kurt Rambis' safety. Absolutely. I would never say that wasn't a dirty play. However, McHale didn't do that. There's not like, he has that one fucking highlight. There isn't like
a bunch of them.
A 12-year.
What's the dirty player from the Warriors name that has you can do a whole bunch of clips of the one guy from the Warriors. He's just kicking dudes in the nuts and all type of stuff that, or who else? Who else is known for being a dirty player in the NBA? Oh man, yep, Dennis Rodman.
Period where this guy was considered the dirtiest guy in the league. That fucking dude on Golden State Warriors. How many? In 40 years of watching basketball, I never saw a guy.
Oh, great minds.
Take a jump shot and accidentally kick somebody in the balls.
Right.
3 times that happened. Or you wait till somebody jumps up to take a shot and then you stick your foot underneath so that when they land, they roll their ankle. Like those types of guys, I think they shouldn't be in the league. Headhunters and all of those types of things. So just so you don't think that, because I definitely, being a Celtics fan, I am not without prejudice here. But I'm just...
They shouldn't be in the league, or there should be stiffer consequences. I don't know. There's been some really great players, that still were talent I want to see play, but maybe there should just be bigger consequences. Judging
how all of those teams viewed them and how Isiah was left off of the fucking dream team, I think it kind of speaks for itself when everybody sort of straight across the board kind of felt the same fucking way.
I was getting strong innuendos that it wasn't just, it was coming from higher places that didn't want Isiah Thomas on the team.
But having said that, though, I love John Sally. I love Joe.
Jordan would never admit that it was him. You know what I mean? That was like, no, I'm not playing on that team because he's too much of a professional. But they know the main reason was because it was Michael Jordan, from my opinion.
Those that it wasn't just, it was coming from higher places that didn't want Isiah Thomas on the team.
But having said that, though, I love John Sally. I love Joe Dumars. Vinny the Microwave Johnson. I liked him. And I even think that, like, Johnson? Rick Mahorn was more towards a Charles Oakley than a Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer was just a sociopath. Like and it's funny now when you watch him talk about those games, how he views them.
Yo, this is to tell you how NBA players can't fight. What was that?
It was just a sociopath. Like and it's funny now when you watch him talk about those games, how he views them. He's like, we tried to play a mind game. That's my favorite quote ever.
Oh, man.
We tried to play a mind game, like they were playing chess. It's like, Bill, you were kind of waiting till somebody was vulnerable and then just taking their legs out. I mean, that's not really a mind game. The other guy's sitting there going like, hey, man, is it me? Or is like, what the fuck? You're fucking with their head. I mean, I guess you were fucking with their head in that you were dropping them on their head. So
he's playing the wrong sport.
I don't know. And I always think it's bad for the sport when a team like that wins. I mean, the 74-74 Flyers almost ruined the league.
We loved to be hated. They were despicable.
A disgrace to hockey.
I don't know anything about hockey.
We don't have to apologize to nobody.
As far as I shouldn't say far. I mean, they were still selling tickets, obviously, but as far as their ability to grow, the way the NBA was growing, the way the NFL grew, MLB was already the pastime. The way the NFL and NBA were able to grow and catch up and pass the national pastime, hockey. I don't know. I hope that made sense and didn't come off just as some Celtics fans sour grapes.
This is Isiah.
Okay.
Talking about the walk-off.
This was edited weird.
Well, I know it's all bullshit. Whatever he says now, it wasn't his true actions then. It's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. Yeah, you can show me.
I like the pettiness of Michael Jordan as well.
Anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he wasn't an asshole.